Alright guys, so we're cruising along here 7,500 feet, just about 9.5 minutes estimated time en route until we get there, 31 miles. So I want to show you a cool feature with the G1000 here. So using your big FMS scroll knob, the outer one, you want to scroll right, go to airport information, which should be the first page right there, and check it out. So right now it's showing your destination, 07 Foxtrot Alpha, Key Largo, and because this airport is not controlled, doesn't have much available in terms of data available, there's no precision approaches, you don't have much. However, you can see right here you've got frequencies, so it's showing your AWOS, or your automated weather observation system, and you can tune into that. So let's try it. Let's go ahead and enable the cursor. Let's use the big wheel. Let's go to that AWOS. Let's press enter, and you can see it gives you a few options here. You can transfer 119.03 to COM1 active. You can set it as your standby, and the same thing for your COM2. Let's set it as our active and listen in to what's going on down there.
07 Foxtrot Alpha Automated Weather Observation 0500 Zulu. Wind 25415. Visibility 9er and heavy rain. Sky condition. Few clouds at 1,800 FT. Few clouds at 4,800 FT. Ceiling 300 feet broken. Temperature 18C dew point. 13C altimeter 299er601.
Alright, so we've got our information for Key Largo, so let's go ahead and now switch over to the Unicom. You can see it's already selected. Press enter, and we'll make that our active COM1. You can see it's already spit it up there on your COM1 radio. So very useful tool, guys, as you're heading inbound to your arrival. You can pick up weather information. If you've got approaches, you can pick them up right here. You've got your stars, departures, and your overall information. So again, just a useful tip to use while en route. And another quick tip for you guys on the G1000 suite here. Again, same thing. We're going to scroll right using that big wheel. Then once we get here to our auxiliary page, you can use the small knob and go from your weight and balance to your trip planning. Your trip planning is a very useful page to have. You can see it's showing you crucial information. So it's showing when you departed, current ground speed, fuel flow, fuel on board. And I'm not going to read over everything, but there's a lot of handy stuff here, especially on your fuel stats, right? It'll show you your efficiency right now. So we're doing about 12.5 nautical miles per gallon. You've got a total endurance of 2 hours plus 28 minutes, and the remaining fuel 37 gallons. And then it's showing your remaining endurance with 2 hours and 21 minutes, your fuel required, and your total range. So this is very, very good to have if you're doing some flights into unknown areas, especially like if you're in mountainous terrain and you've got some higher elevations and stuff like that. You want to make sure you're not going to get to your airfield without proper fuel reserves and stuff. This is a good page to get to so you can confer and see what's going on with your airplane and your current stats, guys. Okay guys, we're about 4 minutes just to the southwest here of Ocean Reef, so let's go ahead and begin a descent here. Let's go ahead and switch over to vertical speed. Let's go ahead and decrease that altitude. Let's set it down to 1,000 feet. We're going to enter a standard traffic pattern altitude of 1,000 feet. There we go. And then let's go ahead and start using that scroll wheel to pitch down. Let's do 1,000 feet a minute for now, and let's start reducing power as we begin this descent. There we go, descent has commenced. Let's pull back that descent checklist. So the altimeter, as per the AWOS information, was 29906. Cabin heat defrost as required. Landing lights are on. Landing lights right here. Fuel system check. So we had switched over to the left tank. Right now we are good. We're still showing a good balance there between both tanks. Power lever as required. And then it tells you here for a rapid descent, you can smoothly reduce the manifold pressure to 18 to 20 inches. And that'll help you get down pretty quickly, but we'll keep it as we are right now. Same thing for our mixture. You can see as we're decreasing altitude, we can start enriching that mixture. There it goes back into the green. 14.3 gallons an hour, that's good. And then using your mixture, maintain a cylinder head temperatures above 240 degrees. We're at 307, 308, that's good. Brake pressure check, so just step on your brakes a little bit, make sure they feel good, and then avoid prolonged idle settings. So we're keeping power right now at 32%. We're not at idle, we're doing good. Next item, before landing, seat belts and shoulder harnesses secured. We'll set the fuel pump to boost. And mixture to full rich, which we have already set as we began this descent. Flaps as required, autopilot as required, and then if you're expecting icing conditions, you would confer with this section of the checklist. But for now, let's go open, and this will be your normal landing checklist. So, all right, guys, we're right over the airfield. You can see it right there off of our nose, and we're way high. So let's do something. Let's go ahead and set that heading bug back towards the north. Let's do 360. You know what? Let's do 015. That looks like a good heading here. Switch to heading mode. And we're going to break off from this course here. So let's press exit. We're going to open ourselves up here a bit. And it's just going to be it's kind of a right downwind. So we're way out here. We're still really high off of our traffic pattern altitude of 1,000 feet. But it's going to give me time to set up an approach, which will be a visual approach into runway 23. So how do we do that? Well, find that proc key, procedure. You can see the cursor's already over select approach. Press enter. We're going to use the visual 23 using that smaller knob. Enter, and then transition we'll do straight in. Enter. Won't worry about the minimums. Use that big wheel. Keep scrolling past your sequence. And we'll go ahead and activate that now, since that'll be our last leg here. So you can see that we can go back into nav mode, and the aircraft would then intercept that course and then spin it around to line ourselves up on a final approach course of 225 degrees to line ourselves up with runway 23. But we'll continue here on heading mode as we descend, and then we'll make some adjustments as necessary. So we'll press the flight plan key to exit out of that. We're back on the map. We can zoom in, keep an eye out where we're at. Let's go ahead and make a turn to the right. Let's do 040. That looks good. And the airfield is just down there amongst the lights there. We'll be able to pick up the runway as we make a right base turn and line ourselves up for a final into runway 23. All right, we're approaching 2,000 feet, descending through 2,100 now. Let's go ahead and begin a right turn towards the southeast to establish ourselves on a good right base for then a right final. So let's use that heading bug. We're still in heading mode. Let's go 120, 130. That seems like a good target. There's 130 on the heading bug right there. You can see it as the HSI is turning around. There's the heading bug set. And now we're going to start slowing the aircraft down. It's getting dark up here. I think they said ceilings were at 1,800 feet. That about checks out. We're just underneath them here at 1,600. I see the lights down there. Let's pull up that checklist once again. So for a normal landing, we're looking at 100% flaps. Airspeed at 80 to 85 knots. Wow. Oh, wow, that was close. Power as required, and then we'll get on the brakes. So let's go ahead and disengage the autopilot here. So you can use the red button here on your side stick or press the autopilot button. I'll use the side stick. There we go. There's the disconnect alarm. I don't know if you heard it. And now we're flying, guys. I see the runway. Let's turn off that flight director. And we're slowing down the aircraft nice and easy, nice and gently using that power. Let's go ahead and go flaps to 50%. As you can see in the airspeed indicator, we're inside that white tape. That is your VFE, or flaps extended speed for full flaps. So we are good. Let's go ahead and slow her down just a little bit more, and then we'll set those flaps to full. And we're going to focus on this visual approach to runway 23. Let's go flaps full. can see that airspeed starting to bleed off. Those flaps do add a lot of drag to the aircraft, so get ready on the power. And we'll continue this approach. We'll pick back up as we are a couple miles out. Here we are, guys, established on a good short final. We're showing, what is it, about 1.5 nautical miles out. You can see here on your altitude tape, you see that magenta diamond that is representing your glide slope. Remember, if it's low, you're too high, so you got to come down. So that's what we're doing right now. We're still maintaining that 80 to 85 knots. Winds are okay. They're kind of gusty here a little bit. Got a good headwind component there of 11 knots and a crosswind factor there of 4 knots. Nothing the Cirrus can't handle. And this is a tight runway. You'll see we've got a lot of trees around us, and we gotta make sure we slow down so we can vacate the runway nice and easy. Oh, that was fun. There you go. See, the winds are kicking me around a little bit here. Here we go, guys. We're committing. Power to idle. Let's bleed off that airspeed. Hold the nose, hold the nose. There we go. Welcome to Key Largo, guys, here at Ocean Reef Club. That was a fun little hop. And this is a pretty straightforward airport here. You don't have to find any crazy taxiways or anything like that. We can just vacate here. Let's look left. Let's go past this generic model here. I see a golf cart, but nobody's marshalling us in. Taking a few cones out on the way. Let's park here. There we go, guys. So we're down on the ground, nice and safe. Let's clean the flaps. Let's turn those strobe lights off now that we're on the ground. Let's pull up our checklist. Let's go ahead and get our parking brake on. I don't know what this light is. I don't know where it's coming from. My overhead lights are not on. Could be the flashlight just kind of glitching out. Let's pull checklist. Let's scroll. After landing. Let's go into... yeah, let's do the after landing. Power lever to 1,000 RPM. Fuel pump off or boost. We'll put it to off. Mixture lean to obtain maximum idle RPM, but we're already parked. We're not going to worry about that. However, if you got a longer taxi, you're going to want to do what you did before you taxied out to establish that 1,000 RPM with your mixture set. Flaps are up. Transponder, let's set it to standby. Lights as required. Pitot heat switch off. Your pitot heat is right here. Let's go ahead and kill those landing lights as well. Don't know why it's fighting me. There we go. Ice protection systems, if you use them, turn them off. Pump backup switch. Make sure it is off. This one's found right here. Ice inspection lights, they are off right now. If you needed them, I don't know if you remember me mentioning them earlier. You can see it illuminates your leading edge to inspect for icing conditions, so we'll turn them off. And as the airplane slows down, the rudders become less effective, and taxiing is accomplished using differential braking. We already knew that. Shutdown, fuel pump off. Throttle to idle. Ignition switch, cycle it. So we'll turn it all the way off. And then we're going to pull the mixture simultaneously. Mixture is in the cutoff now. All switches off, so we're going to go ahead and turn off the lights as well. We'll go ahead and kill the avionics power. Mags are off. ELT transmit light is out, so this is found underneath here, right next to your pedals. You can see that it is in the arm position and the ELT light is not on. And then you set your chocks, tie downs, and pitot covers, which unfortunately we cannot do in the simulator. As you guys know, we can only take them off. But let's go ahead and kill our alternators and batteries. There we go. And here we are, guys, with a nicely lit cockpit with the flashlight. We've made it down to Key Largo. And guys, this is a fun little hop. I love the Cirrus. Like I said, very minimal time in real world, but it is one of my favorite aircraft to ever exist. And I hope one day to own one, but let's see if the wife will ever let me do that. But anyways, guys, I hope you learned a thing or two here. And as always, remember that we are not professionals and this is not meant for real world instruction. So please take this for entertainment purposes only. And for those of you guys who are looking for a more authentic experience on the career mode, definitely use this to help you take everything step by step. Anyways, guys, you guys know the deal. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe. Make sure you've got the notifications enabled so you can see when we are uploading videos. Since last month and all throughout this month, you can expect a lot more footage from Captain Flako and myself as we're working diligently to keep pumping out tutorials. But anyways, guys, this is Captain Gonzo with that Flight Sim channel, wishing you guys all smooth landings, happy flying, and we'll see you on the next one.